Hi, this is Bill Frank reporting from the League of Women Voters First Forum for the United States House of Representatives from the 26th District. And actually, I'm joined by a very special guest, Jason Hodge, who is not running for the U.S. House of Representatives. He's running for the California State Senate. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about your race. First of all, what district are you running in, and who are you running against?
I'm running for Senate District 19, which is all of Santa Barbara County and half of Ventura County. Population actually is more in Ventura County than Santa Barbara. It's a misnomer when they call it the Santa Barbara seat. It's actually more of us. I'm running against currently, the field is myself, Hannah Beth Jackson, and Mike Stoker. So it's a lot of kind of well-known politicians, and then I'm a firefighter and a harbor commissioner. So it makes it a very interesting race.
Well, first of all, I wanted to touch on your background. So as a harbor commissioner, that's preparing you for political life. As a firefighter, of course, that's your occupation, and thank you for putting your life on the line for the citizens. But talk to me about your political aspirations. Being the harbor commissioner, how has that prepared you for the California Senate?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say political aspirations, because that's part of what's wrong, is everyone has political or long-term political goals, and I'm running against people who have ran 5-6 times each, and I am an elected harbor commissioner now, but I'm a day-to-day firefighter. I ride in a fire engine backwards every day. I take orders. At the Harbor Commission, though, I work really hard internationally to create jobs, to bring stuff in, to work with the cities, and I'm very well versed in the importance, and I know what's wrong with the community and where we're failing, and that's really why I'm doing it, is that I've seen that the problem right now is that we just simply don't have an economy and jobs. And you go to South Oxnard and you go to minority communities, and they're not dropping out of schools because our taxes aren't high enough to fund schools. They're dropping out because their parents haven't worked in 2 and 3 years, and they have no hope anymore. And to me, that's what's important. So, I mean, my political ambition is frankly to go up, do my job for 4 years, and you know, if decided, I'd do it for 8, and then be done. We need people that actually don't want to be career politicians, but actually want to change the status quo. I don't need the job. I got a great job now, but I believe that we really are in such dire straits right now that we have to have a different perspective.
Jason, if you were elected and you were to go to Sacramento, what would be some of the things you'd hope to accomplish in your first term?
Well, you know, my entire focus is just the economy. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, California has very strong labor and environmental laws, which are things that are very important to me. But the fact is that, you know, as long as we're not seeing an attack on those, my entire direction is going to be is how do we streamline government and make it more efficient for the people. I'm someone that I freely admit, you know, I'm a Democrat. I actually believe in a very healthy government sector, and I believe in the fact that people should be taken care of when they're old and they should be educated and not have to pay for it. But the problem is the government they have right now isn't working. It's not the government that I want or you want or anybody else believes in. And so to get to the government that I actually want, I have to reform the government that I have. So part of it is like, it shouldn't take you 4 months to open a taqueria in South Oxnard because you can't get the permitting process. It should take you 2 months like it does in any other state. We have to streamline government. We have to make it to where you don't have to go to 5 or 6 agencies to get a permit. You should go to 2. You don't have to weaken the laws. You just have to make them talk to each other. And I think that just really having a pinpoint focus on economic issues, on small business growth, that's going to start our economy moving again. Because I just don't have faith that even if the American economy comes back, that we come back in California. At this point, I think that we've become that difficult to do business in.
Jason, you're a straight shooting guy, but one of the things that people are concerned about, the citizens are concerned about, is the gridlock that we have in Sacramento. How are you going to cut through the partisanship and the gridlock that we currently face?
That's an excuse. Not from you, but from a lot of people. I mean, they talk about the gridlock. I can't get it through. Can't talk. The other party doesn't talk to me. My question is, when did you talk to the other party? I take a lot of pride. You know, I've been on the board of my firefighters for a long time, and I've worked very well with all of our Democratic and Republican legislators, and I've gotten them to cross lines in the past. The first thing you have to do is ask. The problem is in Sacramento, it's really all about kind of the cocktail party crowd. I go to your cocktail parties, they go to their cocktail parties. And everyone tells them how great they are. We have to get away from that. It's got to be, I have to be willing to go and talk to anybody, and there's no one right now I won't talk to. And when I'm up there, my goal is to be able to, from day one, to say, these are the Republicans I have relationships with and the Democrats, and this is my group that I'm working with. Partisanship has failed us. The last 10 years has been the most abysmal, series of years, frankly, in California's history legislatively. We had a $100 billion budget in 2004, and we still had to raise taxes and it got Gray Davis unelected. In 2012, we have an $85 billion budget. We still have to raise taxes. At what point do we stop digging out of a hole? And I think that what we have to do is really get to that post-partisanship and get to where I'm not afraid to talk to you. I'm not afraid to co-author with you. And again, end of the day, in 4 years, if voters don't like it, I go back to being on a fire engine, and that's fine with me.
All right. Now, you're going up against two very seasoned veteran politicians in Mike Stoker and Hannah Beth Jackson, who is the incumbent in that. Tip your hand a little bit. What is your campaign strategy going to entail?
Well, there's no incumbent in the race, first off. No one has been in elected office for at least 8 years that's running for this seat. Our strategy really is just talking to people. I mean, that really is what we're doing. I mean, we're going to have a lot, visibility out there. But when I leave here right now, I'm probably going to hit 2 or 3 restaurants and say hello to folks. We have farmers markets tomorrow. We have a business walk in Santa Barbara. The fact is that I wake up at about 6 in the morning. I start in Oxnard. I end the day in Santa Maria. If the district wants me to represent the entire district, all 300 miles north to south diagonally of it, they should expect me to be there. So that's really the plan, is to make sure that no matter where you live, if you live in Lockwood Valley and we got 12 voters up there, I will have met them before it's over. And I think that hands-on approach is important, because in the past we haven't had that, and frankly our electeds fail us that way too. If you don't expect me to do it now, why do you expect me to do it once I'm elected? So the hardest day I work should not be the November election day. It should be the day after that and then on.
All right, Jason, if people are intrigued by what you have to say and they want to learn more about you and learn more about your campaign, where would you direct them to go?
electjasonhodge.com is my website. You can find me on Facebook too. My cell phone number is 805-444-5223. I invite anyone to call me and ask me a question anytime. Again, accessibility to government is so important to me, and that's been my number for 10 years, and I'm not planning on changing it.
My guest has been Jason Hodge, who is the candidate for the California Senate. Thank you, Jason, so much for being my guest.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Take care.